Community Education Channel presents Community View, an inside look from our community members' perspective. Hello and welcome to the Community View Show. I'm Melissa Anderson. You know, it's considered the gateway to Zion, and it's perhaps the most visited, smallest town in Utah. Today we're going to talk with Mayor of Springdale, Barbara Bruno, who has things shaping up since she was elected a year ago. Thanks for joining us today, Mayor Bruno. And how are things going?
Things are going well. It's still pretty busy in Springdale. Visitation to Zion National Park last year was 4.7 million, which is down almost 7% from 2021, which was a record year. But when you look at pre-COVID, which is 2019, it's still up 5%. So it's been busy.
Yeah. Now this time of year, it's not that busy because things are kind of slowed down. We've got winter time, but we do have a few visitors. Tell us what happens in your little town during this time of year in the winter.
Well, this time of year, a few of our restaurants are closed. They're taking some much needed time off. Some of the hotels are at limited capacity, but we still have visitors coming in, and especially on weekends. And then holiday weekends, like last weekend, President's Day weekend was actually a pretty busy time. So it's still in fact, it's a really good time to come to Springdale.
Yeah, and not as many visitors on your tailgate.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the issues that you're facing there. Now, last time I spoke with you, I know housing was one. A lot of people that work there have to live in Hurricane or outside that area. What have you done since that time to try to remedy this?
We last year, pretty early on, adopted a new transient lodging ordinance that makes it more difficult to turn a long-term housing unit into a nightly rental. And so that's helpful. We're trying to maintain some of the housing that we do have. And at the same time, we're working on a workforce housing overlay zone, which would increase the density that we allow in order to build housing that would be deed restricted for people who live in work in Zion National Park or Springdale and want to live there.
Some of the areas outside of Springdale have really developed. When I was through that direction a while ago, I saw all of these new hotels and things going up towards Virgin. Are those areas in there going to probably feel a little bit of the overflow or impact from either workers or tourists that are coming in and out of your city?
I think it's possible. I think that there may be a little bit of difficulty staffing all of these different hotels. It's hard enough for us, and they're paying a premium for people to drive up to Springdale.
Yeah, and wages, you know, that seems to be a big thing these days. Tell us a little bit about that. Can you make a livable wage there and drive back and forth?
You can. In fact, the owners of the restaurants are telling us that they're paying dishwashers $20 an hour because a lot of those people are driving up from St. George and paying for fuel. So they're paying a premium, and some businesses are staying staffed better than others. Some of them are closed 2 days a week. So anecdotally, we have about 1,500 people that come into town to work every day, and most of them do not live close by. So it's a dilemma. We'd like to have more housing for them.
Last time I talked to you too, transportation was kind of an issue, and we've talked about this bus service that might come from St. George or Hurricane or whatever and go all the way up there. How is that coming along?
It's not really coming along too
well.
It's funded. There's a grant from UDOT, and there's a sales tax we've been collecting for a few years, we the county, but the buses are not yet ordered, and the route won't start for probably conservatively it'll be at least 2.5 or 3 years from now.
How are things as far as utilities and power? And I know that's an issue everywhere now with prices going up and fuel costs going up. What are we seeing in your little neck of the woods?
We are doing okay. We're raising our water rates a little bit. I think most of the people in the state are, most of the towns in the state. But we're doing well with our utility rates. We're not seeing a big increase there.
And as far as the development there, what are we seeing? Are we seeing new businesses coming in? Is there enough room to put more businesses coming in?
We're pretty landlocked, so not a lot of new businesses coming in. We've had a couple of new nightly rental developments that went in this past year that were pre-approved before this year. But we don't really have a lot of new businesses. I think we're just seeing some remodels of existing businesses.
What would you say your #1 challenge was and is going forward into 2023?
Well, we have several, but I would say our #1 challenge is housing. You know, water's a concern for everybody, but so far we're doing okay. We're at the headwaters of the Virgin River, but housing is a real challenge.
And you've got a lot of snowpack, so water might help that out. That snow might help it out.
It'll be a good year.
Yeah, great. Well, I'd like to say thank you for joining us today and hope everything goes well for you and in the coming year. And we'll look forward to having you back on the show. And I'll have to try to stop out and visit you again.
That'd be great. Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you so much. And if you've never been to Springdale, you're missing out. Right now, it's a great time to see the sights and support the local businesses while it's slowed down a bit. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Watch Community View on YouTube, Facebook, and TDS channels 22 and 108.